Have you submitted hundreds of resumes without any response? Have you submitted hundreds of resumes and gotten a lot of rejections? Are you struggling to land an interview? If you answer yes to any of these questions, then this video is for you. Today, we're going to be talking about 5 tips to improve your resume. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Akila and I'm a certified career coach. The mission for my channel is to help others uncover a more fulfilling career and to take practical steps to achieve this career. If this content resonates with you, feel free to like, subscribe, and share. Now let's get into today's topic. The number one thing that you want to do when you're looking to improve your resume is to ensure that you are keeping the format simple. A lot of candidates, a lot of my clients oftentimes would like to improve their chances of their resume being seen by adding graphics and or tables to their resume. The challenge with that is that a lot of these companies today are using ATS tools and or AI tools to scan your resume. And oftentimes these tools do not scan tables and or graphics well, which means that they are not going to be able to effectively read your resume. So essentially, if you submit a resume that has table and or graphics on it and the tool is unable to read your resume, it automatically kicks you out and you automatically either get a rejection email or you get nothing at all. And nobody will be looking at your resume because your resume will not have a score. So how do ATS tools work? Essentially, what happens is they scan your resume and they look for specific keywords, and based on that, they give you a score. And depending on how you score against other candidates will determine whether or not your resume even gets seen by a human. So if you want to improve your chances of having your resume looked at by an actual human, which would improve your chances of potentially getting an interview, you want to kind of keep your resume as simple as possible. The second thing that you want to do is ensure, as I mentioned, that you are writing your resume for the ATS and or AI tools. Now, how do you do that? You make sure that you include the keywords that is listed in the job description within your resume. Now, a lot of persons struggle with figuring out what those keywords are. What I often advise my clients is you know your industry more than anybody else, right? You're the expert. So you will know instinctively what keywords the employers are looking for, okay? And if you are struggling, you can use ChatGPT to figure out what the keywords are. But you must include keywords, those exact keywords within your resume. Now, oftentimes, again, I have clients who will use synonyms. No. If they're asking for somebody who is a team player, make sure you include the word team player in your resume as opposed to collaborative. Use the words specifically that are in the job description, okay? That will increase your chances of having a higher score when compared to other applicants, and also increase your chances of actually getting a human looking at your resume. So now let's get to point number 3, tailoring your resume. That is an important part of ensuring that you send out the most effective resume. You have to tailor your resume for the job description. Tailoring your resume for the job description entails 2 things. 1, including the keywords as listed before, as mentioned before in my second point, but also writing your resume to clearly match the job description. And let me explain. I often tell my clients that you are writing your resume for 2 entities. 1, the AI tools or the ATS tools, and 2, a human. Bear in mind that one of the first persons that are going to be looking at your resume, or the first human that is going to be looking at your resume, is going to be a recruiter. A recruiter may not be the expert in your field. So you have to write your resume in such a way that when they can easily match your resume back to the job description. How do you do that? There is a section in most job description known as responsibility. This is where it identifies what you're going to be doing on a day-to-day basis. What you need to do is to take each of those bullet points and ensure that in your previous experience, you have highlighted how you have done, if not all, most of those bullet points in a previous job. You want to be, when you're doing that, you also want to be looking at the keywords for each of those bullet points and ensure that you include those keywords back into your experience section. But you have to capture the essence of what they're asking for in that responsibility section within your experience section, because that's the essence. That is what they're asking for. They are asking for these, that you know how to do these specific things. In addition to that, in your resume, you will have something known as a professional profile or a professional summary. Okay, that's at the top of your resume. What you want to be ensuring that you're doing is, within most job posting, they will have a section where they say about job or job summary. This is where they're giving you a synopsis of what they are looking for, or what this job is going to be about, or what qualities the person who's coming into the role need to have. That section needs to be captured. That section needs to be captured in your professional profile. Okay, that is very important. So I want to kind of repeat that. When you are tailoring your resume, you have to ensure that when a human takes up your resume, they can easily match your experience to the job description. Okay? The fourth thing that you want to ensure that you're doing when tailoring your resume is that you want to ensure that you are including accomplishments. So, and you want to make sure that the accomplishments that you are including in your resume speak directly to what the employer is looking for. Okay. So in your career, you've done multiple things, you've had multiple accomplishments. You only want to include the accomplishments that is relevant to the job description. So just to give an example, if they're asking for somebody who has done business process reengineering, and you know that this is something you've done in your past career, you want to highlight that accomplishment, right? You want to highlight what the challenge was, and what solution you proposed, and what was the result of that, right? You want to make sure that you include that in your resume. I typically advise my clients to have a separate section for accomplishments. So under your experience, you want to have, of course, the job title. You want to have the responsibility, which is your bullet points, the things you were doing day to day. And you also want to have a section that speaks directly to your accomplishments. Okay, that is my humble advice. And the number 5 thing that I would suggest that you do to improve your resume is to keep it concise. You only have 2 pages of real estate to work with, so you need to use that real estate in the most effective way possible to sell yourself. Now, in order to help you to sell yourself, I have done a previous video on something known as personal branding and value proposition, where it teaches you to capture your previous job history in a story format. And essentially, it helps you to make these stories more concise so that you can effectively capture that within your resume and make the best use of the real estate that you have. I will include a link to that video in my description, so you can go ahead and watch it, so you can learn how to write these stories and effectively sell yourself with the real estate that you have. So those are the 5 tips that I have for today. I hope that was helpful for you. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section and come back next week for more career tips. Thank you.